They say success leaves clues. But in my case, success left whispers, shadows, and graves. At 17, I became one of the youngest billionaires in Africa. But if only they knew. If only they knew what I saw. What I touched. What I gave up. My story isn't one you find in books or on news headlines. It was buried deep, like the secrets under the red sands of my village. Today, I tell you the truth, even if it haunts me. So sit with me. Listen closely. Because what you're about to hear has never been spoken aloud. I grew up in a small dusty village in southeastern Nigeria. No electricity most nights. Water came from the stream. But we had laughter. My mother's soup. And my grandfather's stories. I was like every other boy. Playing football barefoot. Climbing trees for mangoes. But I always had questions. Why do the rich never fall sick in our village? Why do some people never die, even when the doctor says they should? Why did our village elder tell us never to go near the hills after midnight? I didn't understand it then. But the answers, they would come soon. And they would change me forever. It was my 17th birthday. A storm was brewing. I remember because the sky turned an unnatural color, like burnt orange and ash. That night, I had a dream. Or maybe it wasn't a dream. I was standing in front of an ancient gate. Tall, black, and humming. A voice, one I can still hear now, whispered. Everything you desire is behind this gate. But only the brave must enter. I touched the gate. I woke up. My palms were covered in red dust, and a mark shaped like an eye. My grandfather gasped when he saw it. He dragged me to the backyard and whispered, "You've been chosen." That night, I was told the family secret. It's a legacy bound by wealth, shadows, and a price. 3 nights later, I was taken to a cave. Not just any cave, the one behind the forbidden hills. They blindfolded me, tied a black cloth around my waist, and gave me a calabash filled with fireflies and what looked like gold dust. Inside, I saw them, figures in robes, voices chanting in languages I had never heard before. A voice called out, "Do you wish to be seen or remembered?" I chose to be remembered. The ritual began. I was told to speak my dreams aloud. And I did. Houses, cars, companies, respect. All of it. Then came the price. Give up something you love more than yourself. And I did. I gave up my name. From that day, I would no longer be known by what my mother called me. I became someone else, a vessel of wealth, but a stranger to himself. 3 nights later, I was taken to a cave. Not just any cave, the one behind the forbidden hills. They blindfolded me, tied a black cloth around my waist, and gave me a calabash filled with fireflies and what looked like gold dust. Inside, I saw them, figures in robes, voices chanting in languages I had never heard before. A voice called out, "Do you wish to be seen or remembered?" I chose to be remembered. The ritual began. I was told to speak my dreams aloud. And I did. Houses, cars, companies, respect. All of it. Then came the price. Give up something you love more than yourself. And I did. I gave up my name. From that day, I would no longer be known by what my mother called me. I became someone else, a vessel of wealth, but a stranger to himself. Weeks later, money began to flow. An investor from Dubai found me. A land dispute ended in my favor. A tech idea I wrote in a notebook became an app worth millions. But every time I smiled, I felt someone else was smiling through me. I wore designer clothes. I lived in penthouses. But I couldn't sleep. There were knocks on my door at midnight. Whispers in the mirrors. And every full moon, the mark on my hand would burn. I gave people jobs, built schools. But I couldn't step into a church again. I was a king, in a palace made of smoke. By 18, I had seen more than most men do in a lifetime. But with each birthday, I forgot more of who I was. I looked into old photos and couldn't recognize myself. My mother began to grow sick. She wouldn't let me touch her. "Your shadow walks before you," she'd whisper. I tried to stop the rituals. But stopping meant erasing everything, including myself. I found others like me. Young millionaires with hollow eyes. Silent pain. Some didn't survive. The truth is, I didn't become rich. I became possessed by wealth. Now I sit here. Older. Wealthier. But emptier. People write blogs about my success story. They envy my lifestyle. But they don't see the shadows that walk beside me. If only they knew why I became a billionaire at 17. If only they knew what I traded for gold. If only they knew the nights I cry without tears. So to you, the storyteller, the dreamer, the YouTuber watching this hoping for your big break. Ask yourself, what are you willing to give to gain the world? And what will you lose along the way? I tried once to go back. To undo everything. I walked barefoot to the cave. But it was gone. The spirits had moved. Or maybe, they now live in me. I can't hug my mother. I can't hold a cross. I can't see my reflection on Easter morning. Yet, I keep smiling. Keep giving speeches. Because if I stop, they will take me fully. I'm telling you this not to scare you, but to save you. There are other doors you do not need to open to become great. Every shortcut comes with its ghost. Every gate has a price. You see YouTubers rise overnight. Celebrities appear from nowhere. But ask yourself, what did they give up? What would you? So to you, the dreamer, the storyteller, the hungry one watching this. Ask yourself, are you chasing gold or shadows? If you've made it this far, maybe you were meant to hear this. Subscribe for more African stories never told. Share this with someone chasing success. And remember, some doors are better left unopened. Because not all who rise alone.